If you've been waiting to get a power station, to invest in a battery power backup kind of thing, whether it's for solar or emergency or camping or whatever, UPS kind of systems, brother, the time's right now because there is a price war and it's a massacre out there. Prices are falling and the winner is gonna be us. Now, I'm gonna be talking about all sorts of brands here. A lot of these brands, in fact, most of them we've worked with in the past, so I don't have any bias because they've all sent us free stuff. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right, at that point? So let's take a look at this because we're gonna start with my personal favorite, that is EcoFlow. They've got the Delta 2 Max. Now, this is the system that I use on my computer system right here. All of my studio stuff, everything, my lights, my giant monitor, my smaller monitor, my camera, all of it, my computer, all run through the Delta 2 Max and then run into the wall. That way, if my power goes out, which it does, I'm up here in Montana, it gets a little squirrely sometimes, I don't lose anything. It just keeps chugging along until the power comes back on. So the Delta 2 Max is what I consider one of these, what we call a 2K box. That's kind of like the industry standard cornerstone of when you want serious power. It's not a whole like on the wall kind of system. It's enough you can pick it up and take it with you. But it's not light duty either. It's not like a super light, you're just gonna take it to the park for the day kind of thing. You can, but you're not gonna want to. Anyway, these are what I consider the standard go-to size boxes. Most of them are expandable, but let's get into it. So what we got here is the EcoFlow Delta 2, and the standard before has been basically you pay about $1 per watt hour. All right, so these boxes ran around $2,000. You can see here, list price on this, $1,899. Well, not anymore. You're looking at $999 for the Delta 2 Max. This is a box that has 2,048 watt hours. It has standard running power wattage of 2,400 watts. It can surge up to 3,400 watts with their X-Boost technology. And of course, these all use lithium. Everything I'm going to show you today, in fact, uses LFP, lithium iron phosphate batteries. Those are the good batteries. They run better in hot weather. They run better in cold weather. They don't have thermal runaway where they can catch on fire. And they have like 10 to 20x the amount of recharge cycles as a standard lithium style battery like you see in a power tool, which means they can last 10 years easily for one of these power stations. These are the batteries that you want. They're the same ones you find in a lot of electric cars. Anyway, point is this box here that I've got, and I've done several videos on it, you're looking at basically $1,000. It's 47% off for this box. It has 6 120 volt outlets on the back. It's got a car cigarette lighter style power port on the back. It's got 4 USBs up front, and it's got 2 ports for external batteries right here. So you can expand this up to 6,000 watt hours. I've got a video on doing just that as well. There's 2 little secret bonuses down here. First off, if you spend over $2,000 on the select items, you're getting an additional 5% off. But it also has a BOGO. Buy this item, you get a free item. Well, the free item you're getting is this hand truck built specifically for this unit. So it'll stack, you can cart it around nice and safe and easy to move it. It's $129 value, and you're gonna get that for free. Now, if you want to add a battery on it, here's the batteries. They're $1,000 right now, 29% off. Each one of these is the exact same size battery as in the original unit. So if you had 1 battery, you're doubling. You had 2 batteries, you're tripling the power capacity on that. These are only 29% off, but you can buy a combo unit where basically you're paying the original price and you're getting the battery thrown in for free. That's 32% off total. That is, trust me, I've got this set up. It's a ton of power. It's so nice. Now, it'd be nice if the whole thing interlocked and had like wheels and stuff. They make a bigger unit like that. But again, you can come apart, that way you can move them individually so they're not as heavy because they're heavy enough on their own. So you're looking at there $1,900 there for the combo unit. Now, the reason they're doing this is because the EcoFlow Delta 3, well, the entire Series 3 system is launching this year. So they're probably trying to clear out the Delta 2, but here we've got the Delta 3. Now this is only a 1K box, 1,024 watt hours. Again, it's the LiFePO 4 batteries, LFP. It's got 1,800 running watts. It's got 6, 120 volt, ports there on the front. It's just an update. It's more an iterative update than a completely revolutionary update. Like they went from the 1 to the Series 2. They upgraded the batteries and a whole bunch of stuff. That was a huge upgrade. The Delta 3 more iterative, as I said. But again, look at this. Normally $900. This is a $250 coupon on that one. Then they got the River system. Now the River, that's more of what I call those like take it out for the day kind of stuff. But this is the biggest of the River boxes. It's 768 watt hours. It's on sale right now for $369. $369. Now, here's another one I want to talk about real quick, and we're going to get past the Delta or the EcoFlow stuff here in a minute. But this is the basic. This is the smaller of the River ones. This is 245 watts. Often what I've considered to be the best, what I call like a CPAP level kind of a power station. Now I use one of these because I have to use a CPAP, and one of the things that you worry about is you're sitting there sleeping at night. You get this thing on your, and what if the power goes out? And again, I live up here in Montana, or if you go camping, stuff like that, you need that kind of power. Well, this is the kind of thing that can help you through that, because at home, I leave it plugged in. It slides under my bed. My CPAP plugs into this. This plugs into the wall, prevents it, helps it protect against surges, stuff like that. And if the power goes out in the middle of the night, my CPAP doesn't turn off, which is really, I think I'm pretty pro keeping my CPAP on. My wife keeps threatening to turn it off, but she doesn't know that's under the bed, so good luck to her. Anyway, fact is, $159, pretty good deal, right? Well, guess what? Now they've got this unit here. I went off screen a little bit. It's the River 3 Plus. Now, it's more expensive, but here's what you get with this one. This has a light on it that's actually usable, unlike a lot of those little, screwy lights you see on it. It's slightly more capacity, but it's expandable. So you can actually get and add a solar. Now, you can add solar. Of course, they have the solar here for $249. For a few bucks more, you get a solar panel. And EcoFlow does make some of the highest grade solar panels out there. But then they have this one here where it's got the external battery. You can add a modular battery onto it and really increase its capacity. So if you're going out camping for more than just a day or two, this is what you might want to go with. Anyway, $369 for that one. And then if you don't need the extra battery, it reduces the size and you don't have to take it with you. All right, now let's talk about Anker Solix. Now, the F2000 has been, and I've said this many times, this is my favorite camping power station. Why? It's a 2K box. It's got a ton of outputs on it. It's got a 30-volt RV output on it. And it's got the luggage style setup where it's got the wheels built in. It's got the handle that extends. It is a hefty box, but again, once you set it down, you take it, you wheel it to where you want, you plug your whole rig right into this sucker, and you are ready to go. Now, here's the other thing is they were the first one to have a light on their box that actually didn't annoy the hell out of me. It's one of my favorite systems. When we go camping, or even if we go fishing up in the mountains here, we like to go up. There's my favorite trout stream that I'm not going to tell you about. Anyway, it's a little bit of a drive way up in the mountains here. This is what I like to take with us. We can charge all our phones, we can take heaters, and we can take all sorts of stuff with us and run it off of this. It's just a great, if we need it for the day, if we don't need it for the day, it's just a great unit. Anyway, $2,000, and that falls right into that 2K, $2,000 per kilowatt hour, or not kilowatt, but per watt hour. Anyway, 40% off coupon. Now, that's not going to take it down quite to that $1,000 mark, but still, for a box like this with the 30 amp RV plug, that's something to consider. Now, get this, they're expandable as well. If you want to get it with its extra power bank, that takes us up to 4,096 watt hours of power. Normally $3,000. There's an $800 off coupon on this. Now let's keep going here. We've got their 1,000 watt box, 1,800 watt running, 2,400 watt peak. All right, 1,056 watt hour LiFePO 4 battery. Again, it's got the good light on it. It's got 6 of the AC ports right on the front, easy to reach. Okay. Again, a great box here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the rolling wheels and all that kind of stuff, but it's not quite as heavy, being half the size, and it's more than half the price, $499. But if you want to add an external battery on this one, it takes it up to $849. Look at that. That's $500 up to, you're adding $350 to double the size of the power on this. Nice thing about this, you're like, well, I can just get the 2K box and run the same thing. Yeah, but if you don't need that power for the day, then you leave the extra battery at home and you just take the base unit. That's what's nice about this modularity, the flexible use kind of thing. If you need the power, great. If you don't need the power, leave it at home. $849 on that. Then we're going to talk about Bluetti. Now, Bluetti is one that I've criticized in the past, and I feel it's kind of bad because they were the first big power station company to reach out to us. We did a review on it like 5 years ago. Absolutely love the system. I could plug it into my RV. It's a great system. In fact, I still keep it at my RV. It's not like we don't use it, but they just kind of rested on their laurels and they didn't do a whole lot. Well, this was their big system. They didn't really talk about it as much as I think they should. This is the AC300, and I've got this, full disclosure, Bluetti sent me this unit. In fact, all these companies have sent me units. I actually have this sitting over on the bench right now. You can use two external batteries with this, taking up to 6,000 watts of power. Now, what's more interesting about this thing is each battery is about 3,000 watt hours. The main unit here, this box right here, there's no battery in it. This is just the inverter and controllers here. There's all your, look at 20 amp plugs there. You've got a 30 amp plug. You've got your 12 volt barrel there, or a cigarette lighter, and you've got your USBs. Great unit. It can be a portable unit. It can be a home backup unit. You're looking at a price on this is normally $2,800. It's on sale right now for $2,500, and there's an $800 off coupon. I'm like, the blood is in the water. This thing, they're going nuts. I have to think that it's Harbor Freight jumping into the fray that is really screwing with this whole system, because they were all fairly standard. They have decent sale prices. Black Friday things would get but not like this. They're like, no, we're going to establish, we're going to own this. And I gotta think it's Harbor Freight yet again coming into a market, and the rest of the market just freaking out, because the price on this thing, what is that? It's normally $2,500. So $1,800 for a unit like that is unreal. And you can get when you buy one, you get a BOGO with this. And the BOGO for this one, I'm pretty sure, is you come down here, it goes how to claim. If you just right click on this, it'll pull it up, and then you come over here and you go, that's the qualifying item. And then the item you get is, it's got the alternator charger. So if you want to, if you plug, or say if you set this up in your car, now you get, instead of going through the cigarette lighter, now you get real power to recharge this thing fast. And if you're going to do car camping, van camping, that kind of stuff in your RV or whatnot, this could be a good setup to go with for that. But anyway, let's keep going. So here's one of the battery packs there if you want to add that on there. So you're looking at $1,700. There's a $450 off coupon on it. Unbelievable. And you get an extra 10% when you spend over $3,000. So if you were to, buy a bunch of Bluetti stuff and you go over that 3K mark, you're going to take another 10% off. Now, here's what we're going to talk about. Actually, let me skip forward here, because this is the box they sent me originally, the AC200. I don't know if it's a 200L. I think this is the newer updated version. This is their 2K box, 2,048 watt hours. It's got under here is the 30 amp plug for your RV. You got 4 of the AC outlets. You got your USB, and DC ports right there. It's a smart box. It's well built. I can't really complain about the quality of Bluetti. They make great stuff. My only problem is that they haven't been innovating. Well, that's all changed. $1,600 on that box. It used to be a $2,000 box. Now it's $1,600, and there's a $500 coupon, taking it down to $1,100. Well, let's see there. If you don't care about the RV plug, then get their new Elite 200 V2. Yes, I've got this one in the shop also. We're going to be doing testing all of this for spring. I was going to wait until I got back from National Hardware Show next week, but the sale is insane. We got to talk about it. So you're looking at the new 2K box minus the RV plug. You're looking at $1,700, so a $700 off coupon. That's going to take it down to basically $1,000 for the two. That's basically 50% of what the prices used to be on this. And this is their latest updated, system. It's more compact. In fact, Bluetti asked me, they sent it to me. They're like, we're going to send you this box and we want you to tear it apart. I'm like, really? You want me to tear it apart? Game on. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be tearing this sucker apart, showing you the internals. But I can tell you right now, I've been always happy with Bluetti's quality. I don't have an issue with that. I just wanted them to wake up and start making new stuff. And well, brother, they have. Anyway, $500 off when you, or I should say 10% off when you spend over 3,000, 7% off when you spend over 2,000. Then they have the HC180. This is basically the 1K box. It's 1,152 watt hours. It's a lightning deal right now for $449. These are the big name brands. These are the big players. Anker Solix, Bluetti, and EcoFlow are the big three. Okay, there's another one we're going to talk about, but I'm not a big fan of theirs. But I'm going to talk about it because I try to be fair. All right, we try to put all the facts out there, let you decide. I'll tell you my 2 cents, but you can overrule me if you want. Anyway, if you only need a 1K box for $450, oh my gosh. Anyway, let's keep going. Jakery, this is the one. So I got full disclosure on Jakery. I've criticized them for a long time. They were the first company to ever send us a power bank, and it was an itty bitty thing way back when these power bank things were just starting off. And I looked at it, I'm like, it's cute, it's adorable, it's way expensive. I don't know. You can probably go find the video we did on it. But that said, they're another one of these companies that came out. They established themselves early, and then they just kind of sat there and were like, no, we're good. We don't need to catch up to everybody else. Well, everyone else passed the way by, and Jakery kind of woke up and went, oh, we got to catch up. Here's the new version. Any one of these you see with the folding handle has the new LFP batteries. It's got their newer tech, and it's still behind everybody else somehow. And they've reached out to me several times about reviewing their new stuff. I tried to talk to them. They tried to get me to sign a contract where I wouldn't say anything negative. And they went, and I got contacted by one of their reps. And this is for full disclosure. We have a 100% transparency policy here on the channel. I will always tell you if we're sponsored. I'll tell you about any conversations. I don't care. I will tell you guys anything you want to know. Just ask if I didn't cover it already. Anyway, so one of their VPs or something reached out to me and was like, no, that's not what we meant. We just meant we didn't want you saying, and there was some weird convoluted stuff. And they tried to, I'm like, fine. In that case, remove that section and let's do it. Yeah. And I keep getting contacted by the reps, and it keeps going nowhere because apparently I've been blacklisted because they can't control what I'm going to say. Anyway, Jakery here, this is their 2K box. All right, 2,042 watt hours. It has three upfront AC outputs. And you got, and then as far as, USB-C, it's got 2 USB-Cs and 1 USB-A. It does have a cigarette lighter port there, no cover on it. It's got a ridiculous light. They're just not keeping up, folks. Now, granted, look at $1,500, and there's a $200 coupon. They're overpriced. That's what my issue. They're overpriced and underperform. That's always been my issue with them. Is you feel like they feel like they've got the name, and people will just pay for it. And maybe they will. Maybe people will pay for it. I don't see it. Anyway, and then here's the 1K box. It's $800 with a $300. Now this one's coming down to $500, so that's within the realm there. Again, same outlets. It's the same box essentially. All right, now this is interesting. I did find this. This is the one they keep wanting me to test. So this is their 3000 Pro, 3,024 watt hours. And yes, you can get external batteries for this to expand it. This is their refurbished department. Now, remember, this is sold by Jakery here. So it's got the RV port. It's got four. They can't do 6. They add 1. You jump up in price. Anyway, it's normally $2,250 on it. It's on sale right now for $1,500. Pretty good price. Again, that's all you though, folks. All right, we're going to talk about some of the budget brands. Vtoman. This is the brand where everything is also a jump starter. I kid you not. They have air compressors that are also a jump starter. They have vacuums that are also a jump starter. I even have their impact wrench that's also a jump starter, which honestly for your car, not a bad concept. But anyway, this box here, and you have to buy the jump starter cable separately. They plug in right there for it. But it's a 1548 box. So this is halfway between the 1K and the 2K box. This is very similar to the Harbor Freight's new Predator box that we just talked about. And it goes up to 3,000, doesn't have quite the capacity. The Harbor Freight box does 2,000 watts with a surge up to 4,000, which is extraordinary. Anyway, you're looking at $1,000 for this, and there's a $400 off coupon. It has the onboard storage, which I'm a big fan of. It's got good handles. We've done reviews on this box. It's a decent box. It's got 3 outputs. It's got a ton of USB-C. It's got 2 barrel plugs, and it's got the car powered port adapter there. Anyway, you're looking at, was it basically $600 for that box? Now, they do have an option here where you can get it with the external battery here for $1,600 with a $530 coupon there. That's not too bad. And they even have one where it's, look at this, it's $900 off of the $2,400 price. That takes it down to $1,500. And you're getting the external battery, the main box, and the solar panels for that. And you can use it as a jump starter. Not a bad concept, right? All right, I'm going to mention the Aferiy real quick because we just did a video on it when I talked about the Predator. People were like, why didn't you mention the Aferiy? They're sold out. You guys bought them all. It was such a great deal. They're just gone. So we can't really talk about them right now. They're probably going to run another deal in June. I'm really happy with them. It's a great power bank system. But anyway, then we'll talk about DJI. We've worked with them before. This is their 1000. This is the biggest unit that DJI makes. They are less about emergency power, camping power. This is like power for professionals. Like if you're going out on the road, you got a laptop you want to charge, the DJI is going to give you the best, cleanest power. If you've got drones, it has built-in ports you can fast charge your drones off of. Here's the reason I like it, because I know a lot of you are tinkerers, kind of like I am. The DJI right here, this big square port, is a direct to the battery port. So if you want to do your own, they even make a little adapter kit so you can basically whip up your own kind of connection for straight DC power. So if that's what you want, this is the unit to go with. It comes with the free bag that encapsulates the whole thing, yet gives you access to all the ports, as well as ventilates for the pass-through cooling. This is a really high-grade box, and on sale for $500 is just insane on that. Then we got Pecron. A lot of people reached out to me and said, why didn't you talk about Pecron? Why didn't you talk about Pecron? Well, we're talking about Pecron because this is right now, because this is what's going on. The E240 LFP, this is their, look at this. This is 3K with the 3K external battery here. This is it's a 2K box with a 3K battery, 5,120 watt hours. That's a lot of juice there, folks. Somebody hated my reference to electricity as juice. I don't care. I'm going to call it juice. Anyway, $2,500 with an $800 off coupon on that. I consider Pecron to be one of the entry-level ones. They basically, it's a well-built box. I like the ruggedized corners. It doesn't have a lot of the built-in electronics, bells and whistles like in the smart controllers like you'll see on some of the other stuff. But I mean, it's a decent box. You're getting here, you got the all the power output. Like you got 3 AC ones, which is kind of lame. You got 6 of the USB-C. You got the 12 volt output there. You got the power plug or car power port as well. And you got all the ports on the on the front side there. And then on the side there is where you got the connection there for your extra battery. Nice. It's a good build. I like it. And then we got the E200 LFP here. Now this is, again, this is the 240 LFP versus the 2000. But look at this. On the 2000, it's $1,000, and there's a $300 coupon. This is for a 2K box, and it's $600. That's insane. And look at, you get the RV port. You're getting 4 of the AC. You're getting a bunch of USB-C. All of them are covered for dust protection. You've got fast charging for your phone up on top. You can just set your phone down and charge it. That's a lot of power right there for $600. That's a pretty good argument. Then we got Oupes. Oupes is another one we did way back when. I was unimpressed at that time. It was a decent box, and it was a good value proposition. But it didn't have, again, and it still doesn't, but they've upgraded it a little bit. And so people ask, well, why don't you talk about it? Well, here we go. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AC ports. You're getting the 30-watt RV port. You get, was it 6 USB-Cs? And you've got the car power port, and you've got the 12-volt barrel plugs. So you get all of that in a 3,600 watt, or 3,702 watt hour box. This isn't a 2K box. This is a 3K box, all in one. and you're looking at $2,000, but there's a $460 off coupon on it. And you get a free item with it. Now, the free item with this is kind of a hoot. We go and we look at it, you're like, it's going to be another battery, it's going to be a cart for it, or it's going to be, no, you get another power bank. You get their little mini portable day kind of power bank with $189 value. Hey, you know what? It's free, right? Now, if you want to go with something a little bit smaller, a standard 2K box, this is their 2K box. It's it's basically $1,200, and they're taking $250 off, so you're looking at $950 essentially. It's got the car or the RV port, it's got the car power, it's got 4 ACs. It even has look at it, was that the Anderson plug there, as well as 6 USB-C. That's a pretty decent little argument here. You got the power charging on the side. It's a good looking box. It looks like they've really done a lot to upgrade their system here. 5 AC outlets, 5,500 watt surge. 5,500 watt surge. That's insane. I want to see that in action. Maybe I can get them to send me one. All right. Anyway, and then last I want to talk about Dabbsson. We've talked about them before. I actually have this system here at my shop right now. In fact, I've got it with 2 external batteries, but we're looking at the base system here. 2,150 watt hours. It's 2,400 watts, surge up to 4,600 watts. It's expandable. I could clearly, because I have 2 of them. It has Bluetooth apps. For a lot of you said that you really like that Bluetooth app, and if you want to nerd out and control your box through your phone, I get it. Anyway, this thing it's a well-built economy box, and you're looking at $1,649. Basically, it's $1,000 for a 2K box. I would like, considering the name that it's not quite up there with the rest of them, I would like to see it a little bit cheaper. But that said, I can't really fault them for the quality of the build. It's a decent box. Anyway, let me know. We got EcoFlow here. We've got the Anker Solix. We've got, of course, the Bluetti system. Those are the big names. You could, if you want to make a mistake with your life, if you're making bad choices, go with Jakery. I can't help myself. If you need a jump starter alternative, we got the Vtoman. If you're going to be doing high-end electronics, go with the DJI. If you want bang for the buck value brand, go with Pecron. And then I would also say, don't sleep on Oupes. They might be one to consider. And then of course Dabbsson. We're going to have the whole video on that coming out. Anyway, as I said, it's just the prices are insane. They're falling. I can't believe that we're seeing this. If you told me a year ago that 2K boxes would get slashed in half, I wouldn't have believed you. If you told me we're going to see 1K boxes across the board for $500 or less, I wouldn't have believed you. This is a glorious time to be dealing with power. And I'm going to sit there, I'm going to be the first one to say that power is not a one and done solution. You don't just buy one of these and be like, okay, I'm good for emergency power. No, you should have a gas generator. Maybe you should have a dual fuel or tri-fuel generator. All right, then you should have one of these boxes, and you should have some solar panels. All right, there's all sorts of situations, and we've talked about them before. There are a lot of people who went through the recent storms that we had back in the fall, the hurricanes and whatnot, who were like, my gas generator was great for a couple days, and then we couldn't get gas from anywhere, and there wasn't a gas station within 100 miles, and everything was closed. Luckily I had solar because, once the hurricane blows by, there's plenty of sunlight, and there's no trees to block it because they all got blown down. Anyway, there's not a one single solution. So these people are like, oh, gas only, or oh, electric only. No, it's a joint synergy of systems. You got to have everything covered. Remember, 2 is 1, 1 is none. You got to be prepared for whatever comes up. And honestly, once you have one of these systems, you will find out all the places in your life where this thing just really fits in, whether it's running a power backup for your workstation, or taking power tools that weren't meant to be cordless and making them cordless in the field wherever you want to go. Run a table saw, get all your systems running wherever you need them, and never be without power. Anyway, I've said enough. Let me know what you think the best deal of the week here is with these systems. I'd love to hear your input. Put it down in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.